Hello, everyone. If you are surprised to see me, so am I. I just got out of recording a hour and 54-minute class on Insight Timer. I was doing my week ahead reading. I did 2 individual readings, and then I come into my application on here. I'm preparing to download the video so I can begin the editing process, get it going, get it up on YouTube. And I click play and there's no sound. And I checked, it's not my computer. So what happened was, long story short, Teams, even though my microphone was on, even though it was plugged in, Teams did not actually record my class. And because the audio was not recorded, there is no transcript. So I can only figure out what I was saying by trying to read my lips in rewatching almost 2 hours of video. As you can see, that is a problem. So fortunately, because I take notes every class, I am going to rattle off the synopses. I think, one, this is hilarious because in the beginning of class today, I was explaining, I'm finally back for a live recording because I had 2 weeks in a row of pre-recorded readings. And so this is like, oh, I'm back, I'm going live. And then now I can't even use that video. It has to go straight to the bin. And 2, the absolute sick joke, which is the fact that how could we forget? Lest we forget. Mercury Station Retrograde. This is so on point, having some weird technical fluke that happens. Of course, I get into Teams and I'm looking at it, and there's the microphone. It says it's on, but when I was recording my class, it was not on. So yeah, I'm going to be re-recording a brief synopsis of my notes. I didn't take notes on the analysis section, so I'm going to have to do that entirely from memory. And then I'll go back and figure something out with those individual readings because they were really good readings today, and I don't want to, again, put those in the bin. So I'll have to figure out lip reading and reworking them or doing a voiceover. I don't know what, but yikes amundo. So here we are. I'm going to do my quick recap. Alas, one of these weeks, I'll be back on a Monday class and record a normal class. I don't know if it's a sign from the universe, but whatever. So, oh shoot, I have to get the cards. Okay, hold on. I have to find the cards in this deck again because of course I shuffled. So we had reading number 1, which was, of course I didn't write it down. Of course I didn't write it down. So I have to do that from memory. I know that was reading number 2. Where was reading number 1? This is the thing though, I'm at least really glad that my first reaction when I realized this happened, I did not burst into tears or throw something. I just laughed and shook my head and immediately was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to record this myself because this is not going to work. So I reacted, I think, pretty calmly to losing so much content. All right, I have my 2 cards. So this is probably going to be a pretty much unedited video for the sake of expediency, and so I can start work on figuring out what to do with these individual readings. So we used the Moonology Manifestation Oracle Deck. So this has moon imagery, it has astrology imagery. Reading number 1 was, my phone keeps falling asleep, so I need to stop that. Reading number 1, the imagery I got was a fire hydrant. So we became the embodiment of a fire hydrant. That was like our avatar for this month. There's a sudden release of extreme pressure. It's not something that was building over long term. It's something pops up. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's a release. And the lesson for card reading number 1 is our emotional processing. That is the lesson. The release, the water that's coming out of the hydrant, that is our expression of our emotions. So we're becoming aware of how is it that we express and process them? Is it through tears? Is it through movement, being active? Is it through our voice, talking about it, screaming, whatever it is? Figuring that out observing it, not judging it. And the reminder that kept coming through was, I am the fire hydrant. So remembering, you are the fire hydrant. What is the point of a fire hydrant if not to have the water come out and release, to transport the water, to release the energy, the matter, etc. It's not supposed to keep everything in and bottled up. So that's a way that you can think about grounding yourself this week. And what came through was by day 5 or 6, this is depending on your time zone, so this could be Friday or Saturday, that we are moving into relating. In other words, shifting how we relate to whatever is that came up with this situation in general, the people involved, the variables at play. How do we relate to this now that we are understanding our processing, working through it, not judging it, etc. Card that we had, full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. Things I said here from memory that serves. Number 1, a full moon is about an emotional culmination. When the moon is full, emotions are heightened. That's what we have this week. We have a release that is necessary. That's what we do on a full moon. We are releasing what no longer serves us. We're releasing what is pent up, the pressure. And then we have Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. It is a communicator. There's 2 people here in a relationship to each other. It wants to express. It needs to share. It needs to have the movement. So we captured pretty much everything, boom, right here. And the fun little Easter egg that I liked was that it mentioned the flow of life, because of course Gemini is an air sign, but this flow piece was capturing the water imagery that was coming through. Reading number 2. We had a visual of, it was a little tap dancer. So somebody that was really happy, dancing across the stage, super joyous, super animated. And what we are being asked to remember is, if all of our songs, if the entirety of our dance is up here, if it's at a 10, if it's all peppy, if it's all joyful, if it's all high energy, then the music will be boring. The music needs the rise and the fall to be interesting for us as the performer, to be interesting for the people viewing, listening, experiencing. Our life should not only be lived at one level of energy, of joy, etc. And also, that is folding in, if we are at a heightened energy level all the time, we have risk of burnout, because we can't keep going. We need the ebbs and the flows in our energy to actually keep us going. Plus, again, it's more fun and it's more enjoyable. So we had a suggested practice come through for this reading, which was to randomly pick a song at the beginning of the day. Somebody asked later in the chat, how do I do that? So ways that you can do that are, if you have on your phone whatever music that you have stored on there, you can use the app shuffle, first song that comes up random. And that's what you could do at the beginning of every day. If you use a certain app like Apple Music or Spotify and you don't have music stored on there, then you can go to a pre-made playlist. You could type in a random letter into the search bar, click the first thing that comes up, obviously song. And essentially what that does is it's setting your expectation for the day. So you're going to sit there, you're going to listen to the song. What's the voice? What's the genre? What's the instrumentation? What are the lyrics? What resonates with you? Could you embody some portion, healthy portion, of that song for the day? Is it resonating with you? Is it setting an intention? And then follow that. So each day you are experimenting with, this is my energy for the day. I'm going to follow this song, so that we're not living one note from day to day. So I, in the class, was very excited as this was coming in. I was practically dancing in my chair because of how fun to me this sounds. So I wrote this down as something that I'm definitely going to do. The card that we had is the new moon in Aries, go for it. The other thing that unfortunately is missed, maybe I'll throw in a screenshot right now I can grab. My reaction when I flipped this card over, I was asking my guides, is it time to flip the card over? And what came through was, go for it. And then I flipped the card over and it literally says, new moon in Aries, go for it. So I will show the picture, or maybe I already have, in the editing of this. But new moons are about beginnings. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's an initiator, beginning energy. So both of these are very potent. If you want to do your big intention setting for the year, rather than having a New Year's resolution January 1st, you go to the new moon in Aries, as long as it's not in an eclipse season, which is what we've had recently. This is the biggest, most energetic new moon energy for the year. This is what I want to call in. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to go for. So how this works with the second reading is, one, very active. The person is dancing. They want to do this. They want to do that. We're given an activity that we can do. Oh, try this out. Experiment with it. We're going to have fun. That is capturing all of this energy. However, it also captures a risk factor for Aries, which is burnout. If Aries is always going, it's always ramming its head into things. It's not looking, it's not taking precautions, it's not measured. It doesn't know when to stop sometimes. That is the burnout that we could experience if we're always up here and we don't have the ebbs and flows. Sometimes Aries needs to learn to take a break. For the analysis of these readings, the few things that I know that I mentioned, one of them being we have a new moon, Aries, fire sign, and we have a full moon, Gemini, air sign. Air and fire go with each other. They are complementary elements. They are not sister signs. If this was Libra, this would be a full sister sign situation, but we're pretty close. We have the two different dynamics being picked up here. Also, the fact that we had heavy action in this reading and heavy reflection in this reading. So I explained when we were talking about in class, could you do both of these? That you definitely could do both of them. The message I was laughing that came through was, if you're an overachiever, there is no reason you cannot do both of these. It just requires more input. So as an example, it was coming in that in the morning, that would mean that you pick your song, you listen to that, you think about that, you live your day. And then if you're also doing this, you have something that's unexpected that is popping up that plays out that's out of your control. But at the end of each night, you do a little journal practice and you're reflecting on your emotions of the day. So this would give you a daytime, nighttime practice if you did both. If you just did one, you're just living your life. This thing kind of happens to you and you find your ways to cope with it. And one of the suggested ones was you could do the nighttime journaling. And this one is less so that it just happens to you, except for the fact that maybe you don't find yourself particularly drawn or excited by this because maybe you're not that interested in music or the dedication at the beginning of your day to sit and do this. If so, this could still, quote unquote, happen to you if you are out and about or you're doing things, you happen to hear a song, it's like clairaudience, you happen to hear a song and you go, whoa, hold on, wait, that really is resonating. I am sitting and I'm thinking about that. You could receive messages through music, even if it's not necessarily every day, and even if it's not you sitting down and doing the randomizer. So there are obviously many other things that I said. I forget them. I didn't write them down. So for anybody that was at class today, congratulations. You heard so much more than what I just shared, but that is the gist of what I can remember. Again, LOL, Mercury Retrograde, hijinks. If you want to learn about this transit, I have a video on it that came out Sunday, I think. Sunday for the Mercury retrograde, which happened or stationed yesterday. We've been in the portal. You can get details on that. And in fact, I'll probably just link it in this video so it'll pop up at the end. But thank you for watching. Again, for the two people that I read today, I will figure out a way around getting readings for you, probably recreating them in some fashion or doing some version of a voiceover. Okay, I'm just gonna not let myself sit in the nightmare that, oh my gosh, I just realized. This is the unexpected thing that just happened. And I said I was proud of my processing of it, that I didn't freak out. Oh my gosh, I did card number 1 and I didn't even notice. Okay, well, we'll see what happens for you. Please do share in the comments. Reach out to me on social media if you have any reflections, revelations, aha moments. If you tried the exercise for the daily music, which I'm going to be doing as well. Maybe I'll put that on my story each day, which song I picked. Oh, that would be so fun. I should do that. Or if you did the nighttime reflection on your emotions. That is it. I have class on Wednesday. I'm going to make sure that that audio is being recorded. Oh my gosh, that would be a nightmare. On Wednesday, I am doing a lecture on chart rulers in astrology. So consider heading over to my Insight Timer platform. You can sign up for that class to attend it. I will be recording it. And now I'm terrified that it's not going to be recorded. I'm going to be recording it, and then I'll put that out at a later date, probably, in my workshop series. And I also am going to be doing a meditation, just channeled, for my schedule in November. I'm going to be doing a surprise meditation class on Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you would like to sit in quiet meditation, do some channeled journaling prompts with me in a low-key, not things are on fire class, which apparently we will need. I did realize this after the fact that for reading number 1, I mentioned day 5 to 6, which for some people could be Friday, that we are having a shift in how we are relating. So I'm curious to see what questions come through for that, because it seems like we, for whatever reason, need the meditation on that unusual day, which is outside of my normal schedule. So I hope to see you in one of those classes or next week. Definitely check those out. I will at least get this out. And yeah, have a good rest of your week. Best of luck with the retrograde. It got me. It got me, and it took 24 hours